I found out my husband had a vasectomy before we met, 3 weeks after telling him I'm pregnant. I discovered the medical records while looking for our insurance card, a consultation in 2019, the procedure 6 months before we matched on Tinder. He'd been shooting blanks our entire relation. That night, I sat at the kitchen table staring at the paperwork. When Dalton came home from work, I slid the folder across to him. His face went white. "I can explain," he said. Classic opening line. I waited. He explained that he'd gotten it at 28 after his ex-girlfriend's pregnancy scare. He was young, terrified of being trapped, and made a permanent decision. Then we met, fell in love, and he kept meaning to tell me but never found the right moment. So, when I cried last month about the positive test, I asked, "When I showed you the ultrasound photo, I was shocked," he admitted. "I didn't know how it was possible, but I thought maybe the vasectomy failed. It happens sometimes." "It doesn't happen, Dalton." The silence that followed felt like drowning. He knew. Of course he knew. But saying it out loud meant acknowledging what we both understood. I grabbed my keys and drove to my sister's house. She made tea while I explained everything. "What are you gonna do?" she asked carefully. I didn't know. Part of me wanted to rage, to throw his clothes on the lawn, to tell everyone what a liar he was, but another part of me was just tired. The next morning, I called my doctor. Routine paternity testing could be done at 9 weeks. I was 11 weeks along. The results took 5 days. Those 5 days, Dalton slept in the guest room. We moved around each other like ghosts. He'd leave notes, apologizing, explaining, begging. I threw them away without reading past the first line. When the results came back, I opened them alone in my car in the clinic parking lot. The father was listed as Wesley Torres. I stared at that name. Wesley, my coworker from the pharmaceutical conference in March. We'd gotten drinks after the keynote, too many drinks. I told myself it was just talking, just harmless flirting. One thing led to another in a way that felt inevitable and wrong. I'd buried it immediately, convinced myself it was a mistake that didn't count, that Dalton never needed to know. And then 6 weeks later, the pregnancy test showed 2 lines. I'd done the math wrong, thought it lined up with Dalton's timeline, wanted it to line up. That evening I told Dalton everything, about Wesley, about the conference, about my own lie that had run parallel to his. He sat there processing it. Finally he asked, "Are you going to keep it?" It wasn't accusatory, just a question. "I don't know," I said honestly. "Do you want me to?" He was quiet for a long time. Then he said something I didn't expect. "I got the vasectomy because I was scared. But these past 3 weeks, thinking about being a dad, I liked it. I started looking at baby stuff online, reading parenting books, even if it's not biologically mine." We sat with that truth between us. 2 liars who'd accidentally built something real on a foundation of omission. I thought about Wesley, who didn't know he was about to become a father. I thought about what my parents would say, what the people at work would whisper. I thought about whether love could survive this kind of betrayal from both sides. 3 weeks later, I miscarried naturally. The doctor said these things happen. Sometimes the body just knows. Dalton held my hand in the hospital room. We cried together, grieving something that was never quite ours to begin with. When we got home, we packed up the baby books he'd bought, donated them to the library. We're in therapy now, twice a week, sitting on opposite ends of a beige couch while Dr. Patterson asks us to use "I feel" statements, working through the lies, the broken trust, the paths we didn't take. Dalton's mother called last week asking why we haven't been to Sunday dinners. I told her we've been busy. The truth would destroy her. She still has the ultrasound photo on her refrigerator. Some days I think we'll make it. I'll catch him doing dishes and remember why I fell in love with him. Other days I'm not sure why we're trying. I see him and only remember the paperwork, the lies, the silence, but we keep showing up. Maybe that counts for something. Maybe it doesn't.